Okay. Now you go. Okay, now, Kerry.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I mean, I was here. You heard me. So it's all good. It's all good. We're ready to go.
Well, okay now. Okay. Okay. Who wants to ask the first question or tell us that fantastic story?
I'd like to ask a question at first, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. I put my petition number 2 in, and now last Thursday there was a message on my answering machine from the attorney for the U.S. or for the court commissioner, tax commissioner, and saying that they were going to file a motion to dismiss because of lack of jurisdiction, and I needed to respond because she needed to put it in her motion if I objected or not, and I did not call her back. And now I see on the docket today, actually it was on yesterday that she put the motion in, and today it was on the docket that I have, I think, until the 17th of March to respond.
Okay.
So am I doing right by not responding, not saying anything, just letting it go through, or?
Okay. If you don't respond, they'll put you in jail.
Okay.
I'm kidding, okay?
I thought so.
Okay, the best way to do this is this. Call them after hours. That way you'll get a recording. Then you'll get a recording, and all you do is say, I'm so-and-so, docket number so-and-so. I do not object to the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, and then hang up. Then you'll get it. And the reason I say that is some people don't feel comfortable talking to them, and that's perfectly fine. So if you call them after hours, in other words, after the call tonight, if you want to call them, they won't be there. So call the number, leave the message, this is so-and-so, docket number so-and-so. I do not object. I do not object to the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, and then just hang up. Now, now let's say they call you and you answer the phone, because there's other people that have this too. I'm going to be the attorney for a minute, and I'm going to ask you, why are you doing this? What is your answer?
The same thing I put on the petition, because I did not receive a statutory notice, blah, blah, blah. Everything I put on, I can't remember what it is offhand.
Okay. See how simple that is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're on there and they say, but wait, what's the real reason? What are you going to say then? What's the real reason?
The same thing. I repeat the same thing.
There you go. See, I didn't, because I never received a statutory notice of deficiency. I never received a statutory notice of determination for years 2000 to 2019. Click and then hang up on. See, it's not rocket science, but what's happening is we're able to control what they're doing and how they're doing it. We're making some pretty good headway. And the reason we're doing headway, they never saw this coming. The reason we go to the tax court first, that way when you go, if you have to go to another court, or if they send you a letter in the mail, you have the answer. So now that you have that, if you do that after hours and you give them what they want, when you get your court order, now let's say you get a CP 503, and it's a pretty threatening letter. How are you going to answer that?
I will take the court order and mail it back with what they sent me, and that's it.
There you go. See how simple that is? So if you get a letter, all you do is take their letter, get a copy, so you have a copy of that you did send it, or that you did get it. So what you're going to do is take a copy of their letter, put it in an envelope. Take their envelope, put it in an envelope, take a copy of your order of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction, put it in the envelope, and mail it back. You're done. Now, wonder if no matter what letter you get from them, that's how you handle it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So,
okay. Now, what happens?
Go ahead. Get a certified copy.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Call in and get some certified copies, and then get copies of the certified copies. Thank you, Ed, for reminding me of that. But after you get your order in the mail, call the number on the website, the 202 number. The lady that answers the phone, I say lady, that's who answered mine, or the guy that answers the phone, say, I want 5 certified copies of docket number 123-20, whatever it is. And then they'll give you instructions on how to pay for it, and then they'll mail them to you. Then take those and put them in an envelope and go get you 5 or 6 copies. That way you've got letters to send out because you don't need them for that, but now you have them, just use them. That way, if you have to have something serious, you've got enough copies to go around. But get several copies of the certifieds. It'll have an embossment on it, and it'll have the wedding signature of the judge. Then what you'll do is take the letter you get, the envelope you get, put it in an envelope, get the copy of the certified, put it in the envelope, and mail it back to where it came. You don't have to write a cover letter. Let the paper do the talking. That's been our best response that we've had with them.
Okay. So
I haven't confused you now, have I?
Well, I just haven't. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But how do I handle my state revenue office?
Okay, on your state. Now, what you're going to have to do on your state is you have to understand. Okay, you can't tell them anything. Now, if we're playing poker and you have a good hand, are you going to show everybody at the table what your hand is, or are you going to keep it a secret and act like you don't know what you're doing? And then what will happen is you'll draw a lot there. Okay, so what you're going to do is on the state. I have a form. Now, do you know what the word form means? F-O-R-M.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes,
you can use you can use the form that we have that I've made up and send it to them. They're not going to answer. Then you're going to do a fault. Then you're going to do a default. Take the default in. Then what you're going to do is do a cover letter with the default. Let them access to you. Now, what works the best is watch what I'm going to show you what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're a 6'5", one-legged, one-eyed, 3-eared female. Isn't that right?
What do you mean by 6 foot?
See what I'm saying? See, I'm telling you. You never tell them anything. You ask them. So when you go to your state, you ask your state, I'm confused. And what I do is I try my best to play the stupid card. In other words, I'm going to write a letter to them, a cover letter with my form, and I'm going to say, I'm not an attorney. I can't make a legal determination, and I'm confused. See, then there's a series of questions that I can help you with. Just hold the question, then you write it your way, and then you're going to ask them. What that does is it becomes benign. In other words, if they don't answer it, you're going to walk them off the cliff. Doesn't that make sense?
Sure, it sure does.
Okay, now I'm going to show you what I'm saying. Okay, if I bite your finger, I bite your index finger on your left hand, and I bite it real hard, will it hurt?
Will it hurt you or hurt me? What do you mean?
See how simple that was? You asked the question, now I have to answer it. That's what we're doing. Because if you say yes, then I'm going to say, Ed, did it hurt? Ed's going to say, didn't hurt me. See, now you're in a really peculiar situation because you made a statement. You told them something, and now they're not going to answer you because the way it's worded. So the question is, if I bite your finger, will it hurt? Hurt who? Will it hurt you? Yes. Now, every time we talk about biting of the finger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And see, that's how we're trying to get this to work. You're going to ask the state a question. If they don't answer you, we're going to set the question up that they answer it. Now, in Texas, what they'll do on the ballot, they'll ask you to vote for something. If you vote yes, the way it's worded, you're really saying no. If you say no, you're really saying yes. And see, that's deceitful, but that's how we're going to do it to them. If you don't answer it, here's what you're saying. If you answer it, then this is what you're saying. So we're going to ask them a question in a manner. If they don't answer, then we're going to tell them, because you didn't answer, this is how we're taking that. This is what you're saying by the acquiescence of silence. See, now, and then we're going to do that several times. Now, what you're going to have is you're going to have a very strong case. If you had to go to court with your state, why wouldn't they answer you if they don't have anything to hide?
Right. So now, is that something you work with us personally on that form, Carrie?
If you want to, I can. Yes. Now let me ask you a question, okay?
Yep.
Do you like dogs or not?
What do you mean by dogs?
Oh, you're making this hard on me. Fat, ugly guys.
What do you mean by, can you define what guy is?
You see how hard you make it? And see how innocent that is? So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up getting to the truth. That's how we're doing everything that we do. Because, see, it's not up to me to know what you're asking. It's only up to me to ask.
Right.
Did that make any sense for you?
It sure does.
Okay.
I have one
now,
really cool. Go ahead.
No, go right ahead. Ask your question. This isn't about me. It's for me.
Sure. I hate to take up anybody else's time here, but I have one other quick question. So after I get all that done with the tax court, U.S. tax court, and then the state, all that, how do I get the 2853C letter to say that? Doesn't that say that I don't have to pay any taxes in the future? How does that?
No, it does not. It's a 2358C. Okay. Okay. First of all, let me ask you a question. Are you a taxpayer?
Yes.
Okay. So what it says is, dear taxpayer, we agree with you. You are not legally required to file a tax return. See, so what that does for you is when the IRS writes you a letter and says you didn't file a tax return for blank, you just send that letter to them because it'll have your name on it. Now, if you want to read or you want to see a 2358C, email Ed. Ed will send you mine. He'll send you mine, or give him your email address. He can send it to me, and then I'll send it to you. But you can actually see my 2358C letter and what it says. And what we do is I have a template that I use, and I ask them for it. And what they do is they give me what I put in there. In other words, I tell them what I want it to say, and then it comes back with what we put on it. I don't write a long letter. It's going to only be one or two lines, but it's basically, they say we agree with you. You're not legally required to file a tax return. Well, what that does is that really cripples them, see? It really hurts them. Did that answer your question?
It does. Thank you so much, and I will email Ed.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, before you hang up, though, do you know anything about personality traits?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Do you know what a melancholy is?
Yep.
What is it?
How to describe it? boy, I learned all this. And they called it, when I learned that they called it something else, not melancholy. It's...
You realize that I just set you up, and you're doomed. Because, let me tell you, what you should have said is you should say, I have no clue, tell me what it is. Because here's what it is, okay? Because I'm a man, I'm going to use a woman. It's a woman that's shaped like a melon and has a face like a collie. All you had to do, see how, no, did you see how, did you see what, yeah, I know what it is. It's as soon as you said that, see, you put your guard down. These people we're dealing with, they're no good. All I'm trying to do here is I'm not giving legal advice and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to show you a way to protect yourself against the enemy. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
I did let my guard down.
See, because you were going to, you were going to say, it's somebody who's depressed. Well, I would be depressed if I was shaped like a melon and had a face like a collie. I would be depressed. So see, do you see how it's always the same answer? Do you know what? Okay, do you know what a eye is?
No, explain it to me.
See how simple that was? Well, on a potato, it's those things that grow on the side of a potato. See?
Yep.
See, because what happens is we have to do that because if you want to look up Title I, Section 1, and you read that and you'll see what I'm saying. And if you're interested in it, look it up and let me know you're there, and then we'll talk about it. And then I'll show you where they're coming up with all of this absolute nonsense that we're being hit with. See, we're being hit with stuff that makes no sense. Right. And that's the reason for it. Okay?
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
You did. Thank you. I'll look it up and I'll come back on with it then.
All right. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else have my pleasure. Anybody else have a question?
I do.
This is John Robinson. I have one.
So what? I don't care. We want somebody else. No, go ahead. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I got a letter back from the United States Tax Court, and it seems to double talk. And I thought if I read it to you, you could tell me if I got my non-jurisdiction.
Well, okay. It's always double talks, but go ahead and read it. But listen to me. I'm going to stop you along the way so we can decipher it as we go. Go ahead.
On February 6, 2020, respondent filed a motion to dismiss.
Hold on. Stop. Why would you file a motion to dismiss? Why did you do that?
I didn't. I'm the petitioner.
Then why don't you?
The Commissioner of Internal Revenue.
There you go. Why don't you read it that way? Because it'll make more sense to us. So start over and set where it responded. Everywhere the respondent is mentioned, say the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service. Go ahead.
Okay. On February 6, 2020, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service filed a motion to dismissal for lack of jurisdiction. On February 12, 2020, Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service filed a first supplement to his motion. Upon due consideration, it is ordered that on or before March 10, 2020, petitioner, which is me, shall file an objection, if any, to the Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service. Motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction as supplemented. Failure to comply with this order may result in the granting of Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service motion and dismissal of this case or other appropriate action by this court.
Okay, now, what was the supplemental? Do you have the supplemental? Because that's your second one you got from it. What was the first one? What was the supplemental?
I had two letters from the IRS attorney, and I think those are the supplemental ones.
That's correct. So read those so we can see what it says.
Let's see, is this the first one or the second one I got?
You asking me? I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you.
No. Okay. Commissioner of Internal Revenue files this supplement to this motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction that was filed with the court on February 6, 2019, because the Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service Counsel was unable to locate the certified mail list for the notice of deficiency mailed to petitioner, which is me, for taxable years 2003 through 2006. Attached is Exhibit C, is the certified mail list dated December 3rd, 2012. The certified mail list shows that a notice of deficiency was mailed to petitioner for taxable year 2003 through 2005 and 2 addresses, and a notice of deficiency mailed to petitioner for taxable year 2006 to the same 2 addresses. In the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, respondent, Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service, estimated that the notice of deficiency were mailed to petitioner me on January 21st, 2013, which was 2,517 days from the filing of this petition. The petition was filed 2,567 days after December 2nd, 2012. The date the notices were actually mailed. The 90-day period for timely filing a petition with this court from the notice of deficiency expired on March 2nd, 2013, which date was a Saturday. So the last date to file a petition would have been March 4th, 2013. Respondent again moves that this case be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction as to taxable years 2003 through 2006 on the ground that the petitioner, me, was not filed within the time prescribed by IRC Section 6213A or Section 7502. Wherefore it is prayed that this motion is supplemented herein be granted.
Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go back and answer that. And what you're going to say is that you're the petitioner. Petitioner files a motion to dismiss respondent's motion to dismiss on the grounds petitioner never received a statutory notice of deficiency or a statutory notice of determination for years 2000 through 2019, and then send it back in. That way it's short and sweet. Because, do you understand okay, let me say this. Title 26 is a statute. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. 6213A and 6212 are statutes also. So, the reason we're saying statutory, we've changed that because you can never, I don't care if they send you 500 of them, they can never be statutory. And do you understand why?
No.
Okay, are you in front of a computer?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to put in statute Title 26, Section 6065. When you get it, hit *6 and say you have it, so that you can read it, and then you'll see why we say we do not tell them because of we say it's not statutory. We don't tell them why, because they're going to come back and make some excuse. That would be Title 26, Section 6065. When you read that, then I'm going to get into that a little bit and define and show you how to help you with that. Would you mind doing that for us?
That would be fine.
Okay, hit *6 and blank yourself out. But when you find it, hit *6. Say, okay, I found it. We're going to have you read it, and we're going to discuss that. Thank you so very much.
It's Title 26, 60, 65.
There you go. Yes, sir. And then come back when you get it. Great. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Can I enter?
My pleasure.
This is Dan in Virginia. Can I also interject that I filed mine as an objection along those lines, and
yes,
they put the one sentence in there that said the petitioner's objection filed February 4th, 2020 supports rather than opposes the respondent's motion, because I challenged that they weren't statutory, so they didn't rule that I was wrong in any way. Is that the correct way to read that?
That's the correct way to read that. The bottom line is this.
Everything I put in my objection is not responded to by the court, so it stands. That's correct.
There you go. See, there you go. That's correct. See, so what we're trying to do here is, what we're doing is we're arguing an argument they can't sweep under the rug because we're using their statutes. Does that make sense?
Does to me now. It took me a couple of readings to get that.
I know. I understand that, but they do it that way on purpose. And I'm going to try to explain to you why they do that, and how we can combat that, and how we can stop that from happening. And the reason we can, because we're smarter than they are. So, okay. Thank you for your input. That's very, very, thank you so very much. Does anyone else have a question?
I have the code.
Okay. Hold on now. There's two of you. Okay. Who has the question?
I have a question, Carrie. This is Bob.
Oh, God, not you. Jesus. Crying out.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I'm kidding, Bob. I'm kidding. No,
listen.
Bob, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a letter today because I put in a notice of appeal, and I got a letter today from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit.
Yes.
So it's a lot different from just filing. It's from the tax court to the claims court to this court. They want a lot more on this. They give you so much time to get your ducks in a row. Because
and that's good, because what they're doing is they're telling you how to do it. You get your ducks in a row. That way, when you file it, you're going to have a lot less trouble with it. See, I was just slinging stuff against the wall, and now that we're getting that, you give them what they want. They're going to give you a calendar. On such and such a day, this is due. Such and such a day, this is due. Fill out this form and mail it on this day. Anyway, and they're breaking it down for you is what they're doing. As long as you stay on that time frame, see, they're pulling their hair out because they're being okay. So what you got was not a bad thing, okay?
No, I mean what they did is they actually send you a guide for pro se petitioners and the appellants.
There you go.
So they basically lay it out for you what they want, but they give you a certain time to do it. It's a faster pace than the tax court or the claims court. So I mean they want you to put in an entrance of appearance. They want an informal brief for the appellant. They have a bunch of questions that they want you to answer. But that's the stage that I'm at right now. So
good for you.
Well,
we've got a couple that's gone past that. In fact, we got a couple of them now that are in the Supreme Court. We're in the United States Supreme Court, and when we get those rulings, it's going to be a laydown for the rest of us.
Okay.
It's going to be like shooting ducks in the barrel. So what we're doing is we're hitting them with everything we can. Now, what we're doing is we're following the instructions, but they gave it to you. Don't worry, you're on your way. You're on your way to victory, is what you are.
Right, but they're giving me, the following documents are due within 14 days. But what I'll do is I'll contact you during the week, and
that'll be fine. There you go, and I'll help you piece it together. And like I said, that's not bad news. What they're telling you is you need gas, you need oil, and we're putting it in it. So we're pushing down and they're giving you the outline, and we're following that outline. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to start crying like a bunch of girls, and because what's going to happen is they're going to start writing checks is what they're going to have to do. They don't have an option now.
I get you. The other thing, too, is I got to fill out I got to fill out that indigent form, too. They want $500, but I'll fill out that.
Right, they do. That's okay. Just do the paupers form. I've done about 300 of them, and they've taken it every time. So.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Right.
You know, I said, I'll be in touch with you during the week, or Ed, and
that'll be great.
We'll keep this ball. We'll keep it moving.
Yes.
All right.
Keep it moving. Thank you so much.
I yield back. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Bob.
I have the statute.
I don't. What statute are you talking about?
The 6065.
Okay, now I want you to understand something. Title 26 is the income tax statute. 6065 is the statute that tells you what has to be on your paperwork. Now, I want you to start reading that. And then after we read it, we're going to talk about it, and then I'm going to tell you what the cautions are. Go ahead and read that for us, I'm going to stop you along the way. Go ahead.
Make sure I have the right one. It's verification of a returns.
Yes.
Okay. Except otherwise provided by the Secretary, any return, declaration, statement, or other document required to be made under any provision.
Hold on. Don't get too fast on me now. List those 4 things again.
Any return, declaration, statement, or other document.
Stop right there. Do you think a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination falls within one of those 4 documents?
Possibly other document.
Okay, what do you mean, Pop? Okay, it's not a return, but it could be a statement, right?
Right.
It could be another document, and what's the last one?
Declaration.
See, it could be a declaration. So, when you get your notice of deficiency, it's going to fall within one of those 4. The Secretary has to approve it, otherwise they can't send it out. Now, read what has to be on one of those 4 documents. Go ahead and finish reading it out.
Or other documents required to be made under any provision of the Internal Revenue laws or regulations.
Stop right there. Hold on. So, if the IRS sends it, it's under Title 26. That's the Internal Revenue laws. See, in other words, the Title 26 is a statute. So we're saying statutory. Now, it falls within one of those 4 boundaries, and it has to fit within Title 26. So far, we're good. Now, let's finish reading it, and then we'll discuss it.
Or regulations shall contain or be verified by a written declaration that is made under the penalties of perjury.
Okay. Do you see where the problem is? Do not say to the court, well, it's not signed. It's not signed under penalties of perjury, because you can't say that. You're making a legal determination. And when you do that, they're going to come back and say, we don't have to do it, only you have to do it. But see, the funny part about that, that's not what it says. It says any. And see, when they write you a letter, that falls within any. So what we're doing is we're saying we did not receive a statutory notice of deficiency. We did not receive a statutory notice of determination. That's all we're saying. Why? It's not signed under 6065, which is a statute. So it's missing the statutory part of the letter or the declaration. So our argument is it's not statutory. I don't care if you got 100 of them. If you have 100 of them, if it's not signed under penalties of perjury, then it's not statutory. But don't tell them, do not say, well, mine wasn't signed under penalties of perjury. The judge is going to come back and say, well, the IRS doesn't have to sign it. That's not what that says. That's not what that says. See, let them say, it is statutory. Now we can appeal it. Then in the appellate court, we can say, under the statute 6065 of Title 26, it doesn't meet the criteria to be a statutory notice of deficiency. Then the court can rule in our favor. What we have to stop doing is taking away our options to go to the appellate court. I don't like to go, but we have to sometimes. They're so frustrated with what we're doing. See, the judges are trying to protect the IRS, and the reason they're trying to protect the IRS is because they're all tied to the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve is where the problem comes in. See, the Federal Reserve pays the judges' retirements and so on and so on. So don't get in a pissing match, okay? It's not worth it. So the answer to your question, if the IRS attorney calls, if the tax court attorney calls, I don't care what they ask you. Now, what's your answer? Why are you doing this? Tell me, why are you going to the tax court?
For jurisdiction, for lack of jurisdiction?
No, absolutely not. You're going there because you never received a statutory notice of deficiency or a statutory notice of determination for years 2000 to 2019, 1990 to 2019. See, the reason you're there is because you never received the statutory notice of deficiency. Because if you say, well, because you don't have jurisdiction, they're going to say, well, we do have it. Then what? Then what are you going to say? See, so go ahead.
My question was that last letter that I read was the last one I got. Does that mean they have lack of jurisdiction, or that
yes,
they're going
they
to?
They have lack of jurisdiction, but they don't have it for every year in there. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go back and say, you have a motion to. I just drew a blank. You're going to write a motion to
dismiss
respondent's motion to dismiss on the grounds you never received a statutory notice of deficiency or a statutory notice of determination for years, whatever years you put.
Okay.
See, because now what you're done is when the court comes back and says, we gave it to you. I don't care what they send you. If it's not signed under penalties of perjury, it's not statutory. We can now deal with that. Don't tell them. Don't say, well, I never received a notice of deficiency that was signed under penalties of perjury. They're going to come back and say, well, we don't have to sign it that way. Now you shot yourself in the foot because when you appealed it, the appellate court's going to say, well, he already ruled that they don't have to do that. See, what we're doing is we're putting roadblocks in our way. Stop doing that. What you're going to say is, it's clear. You never received a statutory notice of deficiency. Let them come back and say, yes, we did. Now we can appeal it on the grounds it didn't match the statute 6065. Let them come back and argue that. That's an argument we can win. Now let me ask you a question. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Do you like apples?
Yes.
All right. You just screwed yourself. Do you realize that? So
I answered the question.
Okay. Do you like apples? Okay, so you like Apple computers, right? You like the old Beatles records, the Apple with the Apple label on it, correct? Hello? Hello? You said yeah. See what you did? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to not talk and communicate with them. We're going to communicate with them all we need to. All we have to do is stay on our argument. See, you ask questions. If someone asks you a question, so let me ask you a question. Do you like, do you wear baseball hats anywhere? Do you ever wear a baseball hat?
What's a baseball hat?
See how simple that was? Now I have to explain it to you. It's a hat that they cut a baseball hide off, and you wear the little hat as a beanie, just the baseball skin on top of your head. See how simple? Because if you said, no, I don't wear that, then I would have said, well, it looks like, see, no matter what you say, I've got 3 or 4 answers that I can jump on you. See where I'm coming from? So do not say, I never received a signed under penalties of perjury notice of deficiency. You just shot yourself in the foot. So the answer is, I never received a statutory. What does that mean? What does a statutory mean? It doesn't follow the statutes. According to Title 26, which is a statute, 6065 is a statute under the statute. It doesn't have under penalties of perjury. Therefore, it does not fall within the guidelines of the statute. Therefore, it's not a statutory notice of deficiency. See, that's something, if you had to go to court and fight them toe-to-toe, it has nothing to do with taxes. You could beat it. Because if they don't rule properly, we can appeal. We can appeal. See? Then when we appeal, you're going to go ahead.
I really don't have any court cases. I was just trying to get the lack of jurisdiction letter from the court.
That. No, I understand that, but I'm telling this because I deal with this every day, and every day people say, well, I put in there in mine, I said that I never received a notice of deficiency that is signed under penalties of perjury. What you're doing is, you're not an attorney. We cannot make that legal determination. So what we're going to do is, and see if the judge says that, well, they don't have to sign it on the penalties of perjury. Now, that's bad counsel. That is improper. He's making a ruling that's wrong. We can attack the judge and put the judge, now we can have the judge we can really bend the judge's ear. Now, let me tell you what I'm starting to do, and they're starting to really get pissed. But what I do is I file a document into the court. The judge makes a bad rule. Okay, the judge makes a bad ruling. What I do is I go and find out what the judge's bar card is. Then I file a complaint with the bar. Now, if he's a federal judge and he makes a stupid decision, I file a complaint against that judge with the federal bar, saying that the judge is there and he's supposed to be neutral and he's not. Here's what the statute says, and here's how he ruled. I want to file a complaint against that judge. If the attorney that you're going and you have a court order in your hand that says the IRS, the commissioner does not have jurisdiction because you never received a statutory notice of deficiency or a statutory notice of determination according to 6212 and 6213A, then when you go in there and you use that in your next offensive move, the attorneys are going to come back and say, that's not what that says. The next day, I file a complaint with the bar. If he's a federal attorney, in the IRS's issue, it's going to be a federal attorney. Go online, put in federal attorneys, bar association, federal bar association. It'll tell you where it's at. Some of them are in your state. There may be. File there, file in Washington, D.C. Then you file, just write a letter. Dear Federal Bar, my name is so-and-so. I have a order from the court that says, see Exhibit A, and I give it to him. The judge is prejudiced against me in a manner that he's making a bad decision. He said that the statute states something it doesn't state. I want to file a complaint against the judge whose bar number so-and-so on the grounds he has a prejudice against me in some reason because he should be neutral. He's supposed to be unbiased. So the judge is not unbiased. I don't know if it's me or if he hates the law. See, what I'm doing is everywhere I run into, I throw an argument at them that really aggravates them. They're aggravated in a way that they loathe me. I have a courthouse that's in my what do you call it, county. We have precincts. I have a precinct that I cannot go into. Yet there's 2 courts in there. If I get a ticket and I have to go to that court, I can't even get in. When I walk in, they're going to arrest me. When I walk in and the sheriff sees me in that courthouse, he walks me out. So far, every time I've gotten a ticket and it goes to that courthouse, they dismiss it because they won't let me in it. And the reason they won't let me in it is I have filed a complaint with the bar for every judge in it and every county attorney in it. They just won't let me in because they already know what's going to happen. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to act a fool. They're going to make a wrong ruling. They're going to get a complaint filed. See? And so what happens then, the judges, they are, what do you call it? They vote. Will you vote for them? They're elected. So what I do is I show up at the election committees with all the complaints that I have filed, and I'm over there saying, hey, that guy's got 6 complaints filed against him. He's got 5 complaints filed against him. That attorney, the prosecuting attorney who's running for office, he's got all these complaints. So I go to the rallies and pass out the complaints, and it creates a real stink for them. It creates a real stink for them. Does that make sense? See, this way I can get involved, and I don't have to go down there and face any jail time.
That makes sense.
See, what I try to do is I'm not very smart and I'm not very bright, but I'm trying to put an argument together to help you that's easy enough for you that will show you how to argue an argument that has no argument. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know what a deer is? I've heard this saying. There you go. See that? Because my wife's my deer. She's not yours, but there's an animal that's a deer. See? There's a male, but there's a doe and a buck, and then my wife. And then see what I'm trying to say to you. If you don't know what the question is and you answer it, what they're going to do a red herring on you. They're going to take that and they're going to ask 6 or 7 questions, and then they're going to ask the question they want. The question that they want to answer, when you answer it, it's going to be contrary to what you've already said. So what's going to happen is you've now lied to the court. So the judge will give you an option. I'm going to put you in prison for 500 years, or you're going to dismiss your own case. What do you want? See, because you're the one that answered the question that you shouldn't have answered because you're answering it proper, but because they're not asking the question you answered, you're going to perjure yourself somewhere down the road. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question? I believe I asked somebody to look up Title I, Section 1. Have they found it yet?
Yes, I have. I was just waiting for everybody to get done with their
That's
questions.
fine. Before you get started on it, I'm going to try to explain to you what we're going to look at. There's 50 titles, okay? Title 26 is the income tax. Title 27 is BATF. That's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Title 18 is Crimes and Criminal Procedure. Title 50 is the military. Title 31 is the Treasury, or Money and Finance. Then there's, all the rest of them. Title 1, Section 1 is the first title, the first section, and this lays out the entire next 49 titles. Because we don't have common law, and we're not using the Constitution, we're using statutes. So this is going to line out all the rest of the statutes. If you don't know this, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now, let me show you what they're trying to say. Then we'll go back and we'll ask some more questions, and I'll try to answer them. Now, if you will, start reading it to me so I can hear it to make sure you're on the right one.
Okay, it's 1 U.S. Code, Section 1, words denoting number, gender, and so forth is the title. That's
what we're looking for. Now, I'm going to stop you along the way, so go ahead and start reading it. Then you're going to understand why I do it the way I do it. Go ahead, please.
In determining the meaning of any act of Congress, unless the context indicates otherwise.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Hold on. Tell me what you just said.
It's the meaning of any act of Congress unless it indicates otherwise. In other words, unless they say it's differently.
Okay.
Words importing...
Now, hold on. In other words, in Title 26, unless they tell you otherwise, this is what they're saying. So go ahead and read that next little section, then we're going to stop, and I'm going to tie it to Title 26. Go ahead.
Okay. Words importing the singular include and apply to several persons, parties, or things.
The next little bit, it goes with that.
Words importing the plural include the singular.
Stop right there. Now, here's what they're saying. In Title 26, if they ask you, did you file a tax return for 2010? And you say yes, you just said yes for every year prior and every year forward.
Crazy.
No, I understand that. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you mind me asking you? Are you married by any chance?
What do you mean by married?
Okay. Do you have a husband?
What's your definition of a husband?
All right. A partner. Do you have a partner?
I don't understand. What do you mean by partner?
Okay. A person that you live with.
Again, I don't understand. What do you mean by person?
Okay. You need to be careful because what they're going to say is you're wasting time in the court and they'll put you in jail for a contempt of court. But you're going down the right path. Now, all right. Do you have a lover?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, so then here's what you're telling me. You're a single person. If we find out anything different, we're going to put you in jail. So you do not have a boyfriend, you do not have a husband, you do not have a girlfriend, and you don't have a wife or a man that lives with you. Now, if we find out different, we will put you in prison for perjuring yourself. Hey, Ed, can you still hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Carrie, in Virginia.
Okay. No, the reason I say that because my phone just made a clicking noise. I think the lady that was talking to me is off the air. Anyways,
you lost her, Carrie. She'll be back, I guess.
That'll be fine. What that's telling you is unless they tell you otherwise. That's the reason why we have to understand what they're saying. See, what they're saying is they want us to be stupid. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take the mask, your blinders off your eyes, so when they ask you a question, you can answer it with confidence. See what I'm saying? Now, does anybody else have a question? When she comes back on, we'll finish up with that. Does anybody else have a question? Okay, the guy that said you could hear me, where are you from?
That I could hear you?
Yes.
Where Dan in Virginia.
Okay, you're in Virginia. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and
right.
I want you to try to answer it for me so I can show you what we're trying to get across to you. Do you fill out a 1040 form?
I have filled out a 1040 form.
Okay, you see, I didn't ask that. You're giving me too much information. I'm gonna back you into a corner that you're gonna confess to a crime you may or may not have done. Do you fill out a 1040?
What's a 1040?
It's a tax return. Do you fill out a 1040 tax return?
I have filled out a 1040 tax return.
Okay, so I'm assuming by you saying you have, you do not now. Why do you not now file a 1040 form?
I do file a 1040 form.
Okay, but see, I asked you that and you didn't answer it. So now what you said was I do not. By not admitting it, you didn't do it. There's no other way I can take it. See why I'm trying to teach you how to do that. So, do you fill out a 1040 form?
I fill out a 1040 form. Yes.
Why? Okay. Now here's and I'm glad for you. You should, but why do you?
To keep track of this or that under. I have no idea, Kerry. You got me on this one. I've been listening to this for a while.
But you see, okay, I'm not telling you not to. I'm not telling you not to. See, if you do, I'm all for it. But don't you think you should do something and you should know why? Let me ask you a question. Do you put gas in your car?
I do put fuel in my car.
Why? Why?
Because it won't run without it.
Okay, see how simple that was? That makes sense to me. Do you change the oil in your car?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to keep the engine running.
Okay, so you have a reason for it. Now, do you file a 1040?
Yes.
Why?
So you don't take my house away from me.
Okay, I'm not taking your house. I won't take your house. So why do you fill a 1040 out?
So the IRS doesn't take my house and everything.
All right.
Else.
Now, that's perfectly fine. If you're happy with that, that's wonderful. Now, ask me the same question so I can tell you whether I do or don't, why I do or I don't.
Do you fill out a 1040?
No, I do not.
Why don't you fill out a 1040?
Because the 1040, the way I understand it, is a federal income tax return. I make no federal income because income is not defined. Without a definition of income, I don't know if I make federal income. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
You have a job, don't you?
No, I do not. I have a job. No, sir, I have a job.
Oh, you have a job. Well, do you make money?
No, I do not. I have the printer and I have the ink, but I can't buy the paper. Now, have you ever read the Bible?
Yes.
All right. Do you know? Okay, in the Bible, there's a book called J-O-B. What is it called?
That would be Job, I take it.
All right. What does J-O-B? You asked me if I had a job. No, I have a J-O-B. I have a Job. See the problem they're having? Unless they tell me otherwise, I can't answer the question. Now, let me ask you this. Tell me different kinds of income. Tell me as many incomes as you can think of.
None.
Well, okay.
I don't know what it includes, yeah.
Okay, here's what it includes. Wait a minute. Salary, tip, etc., taxable, untaxable, gross, net, total.
So far, no.
Interest. See?
No.
Now you understand it. See? The problem is, all right, I'm going to ask the question if anybody knows the answer to it. Can you tell me what income is? You're the best one to answer it because you're the one that files a 1040 form, and since you file it, I am not ridiculing you. So on line 7, I think, it says total income. So what is, do you know the definition of income?
I do not. I can't find it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Would you mind looking it up for us? And I'll let you read it on the line. Would you do that?
I can do that.
Okay, look up Title 31. Title 31 is money and finance. That's the Treasury. Section 321, D as in dog, number 2. When you get it, come back on, in case somebody else wants to ask a question. That's the definition of federal income. Now,
and give me the last 4 digits. Give me the last 4 digits real quick again.
321.
Yep.
D as in dog, the number 2. All right. Does anybody else have a question? He'll come back and define income for us according to Congress, unless they tell you otherwise. Now, does anybody else have a question?
I'm back, Carrie. Sorry I lost you there. I got a different phone call. I didn't.
Okay, but now can I say something?
Yes.
You are sorry, okay? You're absolutely sorry, yes. You said it. I did not. You see what happened? You stepped into that because you didn't say, well, I'm going to define sorry. So, yeah, you're sorry. Now everybody knows it. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Now, go ahead and pick up where you left off.
Okay. Words importing the masculine gender include the female as well.
Stop right there. Now, you understand why I asked you, are you married?
Right.
Okay. So, are you married?
What do you mean by?
I'm going to say by your silence. If you are, you're ashamed of him. Go ahead, finish up. Well, you're the one that said it. So you're ashamed of your partner. So go right ahead.
I don't even know what to say.
Wait a minute. You didn't say anything. Would you like to correct the record? Are you married?
I don't know what married means.
Okay. Do you have a partner?
A partner in what?
A partner that you... All right. I don't want to say it this crude. Do you sleep with another body? You're making me do it, so I'm trying to get an answer from you. See?
What kind of body? What kind of body?
I don't care. Any kind of body you want.
Anybody, huh?
Right. The reason I'm asking you, because, see, I want to show you what they're doing to us. So let's assume you are married, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were married, would you marry a man or a woman? I could care less.
If I were married,
I'm
going to screw this up.
Yes, you are.
I already did.
Yep. Go ahead.
Because I don't know what married means. You didn't define it for me.
I did define it. It's where you walk down, where you go and you live with a partner, and they, after a certain length of time, he becomes or she becomes your partner. That would be married.
What certain length of time? What do you
whatever it depends on what state you're in. In Texas, it's 6 months. So if you live with the person 6 months and 1 day, you're married. You're common law.
Does that mean I'm married to my son? I guess you need to explain that.
Okay, now that's all I wanted to hear. There was somebody else in your life. Now, is your son a male or a female?
My son. What do you mean by male or female?
Okay, now you read. Now go ahead and finish reading that next step, and you'll see what I'm telling you.
Words used in the present tense include the future as well as the present.
Okay, go ahead. The next one.
The words insane, an insane person.
No, back up,
Okay.
where it says about the masculine.
Okay. Words importing the masculine gender include the female or feminine as well.
Now, do you see what happened there?
Mm-hmm.
You said you have a son, so your son is a girl. I have the right to say that. So when we go to court, we say, I'm a living, breathing woman. You're a liar because it means you're a man. I'm going to interpret it that way unless I tell you otherwise. That's how they get us right there. We go to the courthouse and we say, I'm here by special appearance. I'm a female with blood running in my veins. I'm a living, breathing citizen. Okay, so you're a living, breathing citizen, but you have an awkward shape for a man. Well, I'm not a man. Yes, you are, unless they tell you otherwise. That's why I make you tell me up front. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
See, what they're trying to do is they're perverting the language. That's why I have a glossary page. When I go to the courthouse, they get my glossary page. They don't like it because I'm making them tell me otherwise. I'm making them tell me up front. Once they get my glossary page, if they ask me a question, I can answer it without shooting myself in the foot. Now, if they tell me we're not using it, now we have a free-for-all. That's the reason they don't let me in the courthouse. They will not take my glossary page. When I say my glossary page, I don't say that Red is a clown and Billy Bob is really Mary Lou. I put down, I don't have very many words on it, but every court is for the same thing. I define money. I define form. I define loan. I define, taxes. I define income. I got all this stuff defined, but I use Black's Law Dictionary. I use the Supreme Court. Whichever is to my advantage, that's what I use. So it's not my glossary page. It's a legal glossary. Once they say they're not going to use it, that means that they can change it at the end after I answer the question. That doesn't happen. Does that make sense to you?
It does. It does. Yep.
Okay. So now here's my question. I'm going to take it by what you said. You were married at one time and now you're not. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Not true, though. I was never married.
Okay, that's good. And I know why now. Because you were going with one guy and you had 14 man friends and 3 women friends.
Yeah, fell into it again, didn't I? You bet.
No, read what it says. Now, let's finish reading it, then we'll come back to that. Finish reading that.
Sure. So again, words used in the present tense include the future as well as the present. The words insane and insane person shall include every idiot, insane person, and person non-compos mentis.
Okay.
The words person and whoever include corporations, companies, associations, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies as well as individuals. Well, there you
stop right there now.
A partner. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, read the first couple of those, and I'll stop you. I forgot what I was going to say, but
the words person and whoever includes corporations.
Stop right there. I got it now. I got it. Okay, I know somebody that knows you. Do you know whoever? You know whoever, right? You know who I'm talking about, whoever?
A corporation? A company?
Ah, you see? This is ridiculous. See? You're going to say, well, I work for GM. Oh, so you work for whoever. Do you see why I make them tell me up front, right?
Right.
See? Because, now go ahead and finish reading this.
Okay, so companies, associations, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies, as well as individuals. Officer includes any person authorized by law to perform the duties of the office.
Stop right there.
Okay.
Okay. What's the first name of every policeman you've ever gotten pulled over by, met? What's his first name?
Officer.
Okay, so the officer has the authorization to work for the office. So if he works for a city you get pulled over, he has to make money for the city. He has no choice. That's why there's no tolerance. Even if they have to break the law, if you don't have to have a driver's license and they give you a ticket for it, he's there to do what his office tells him. Now, isn't this changing the whole system in your mind now? Let's finish reading those.
Okay. Signature or subscription includes a mark when the person making the same intended it as such.
Stop right there. Now, I heard this just the other day. Well, the argument in court was, I want to see the wet ink signature of the judge, and it can't be Xeroxed. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard. If a judge puts a dot on a piece of paper, tell me what he just did.
He gave us his signature.
Exactly, because that's what he intended. So if the police officer signed this, I put a dot on the thing and hand it back. And he starts arguing with me. I said, okay, then you're making a legal determination. So then I put my something on it. But now finish reading this so I can show you what they're doing to us. We just have to understand this and we can build us a offense around what they're doing. Go ahead and finish reading it now.
Okay. Oath includes affirmation and sworn includes affirmed.
Okay,
writing includes printing and typewriting and reproductions of visual symbols by photographing, multigraphing, mimeographing, manifolding, or otherwise.
Okay, so if a judge puts a dot on a piece of paper and you've got the 10th copy, it doesn't matter unless they tell you otherwise. So that means in Title 26, if it says they have to sign it under penalties of perjury, all they got to do is put a dot on a piece of paper. We have to know that and have that corrected up front. Doesn't that make sense? That's why when we go to the courthouse, if we're going there for a ticket, a speeding ticket, if we walk in there and don't know up from down, then guess what? See, we're at a disadvantage. What I'm trying to do is show you how to turn the advantage to your favor. Was that all of that now? Was that all of that?
Yep. Yeah, that was all of it.
Okay.
There's just like dates and stuff underneath there. So.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't need to worry about that. But I would, if it were me, which I have it, I would print Title I, Section 1, print it out, hang on to it. You don't have to memorize it. Make a few notes on it. Then what it's going to do is you're going to start to understand what's going on. Doesn't that make a lot of sense now?
It sure does.
That's why we can't get our arms around it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that got the email from Ed that we are having this call tonight, he's always at the bottom. He sends you, I don't know, there's 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, whatever it is, PDF files. If you look in there and you're interested, look in there. I have my glossary page in there. It's in there. You can take that and expand on it, take it away, wipe your butt, and flush it down the toilet. It makes me no difference. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a slugfest, a chance, at least a chance when you go to court. So, does anybody else have a question, or even anyone that's already asked it? Is there any questions that you have so we can answer them if we can?
Title 31, Section 321,
yes.
D2, right?
Now, right, that's correct. As you read it, I'm going to stop you along the way, so please stop when I ask you just so we can talk about it. Go ahead.
All right. 31, U.S. Code, Section 321, General Authority of the Secretary. And we move on to D2. For the purposes of the federal income, estate, and gift taxes.
Stop. Hold on. This is for the purposes of federal income. Do you think this is going to be important?
It's the federal income and the authority of the Secretary.
Okay, so
yes,
you fill out you fill out a 1040. The 1040 is a federal income tax return. For the purposes of federal income, let's see exactly what federal income is so we can fill out the 1040 proper. Go ahead.
Property accepted under paragraph 1 shall be considered as a gift or bequest to
Stop
or
right there.
for the...
That's okay. Hold on. You're going too fast. So what is, for the purposes of federal income, what is federal income?
A gift.
Or
bequest.
There you go. When you work, do you get gifts or bequests? Which one do you get?
I get nothing. I get no gifts or bequests.
Okay, we don't say you don't get nothing because that's not true. You get something. But the point is, on your 1040 form, it says enter income here or whatever it says. Well,
right.
If we don't know what income is, so it says on there, put your W-2, W-4, whatever it is, and then on the W-4 it says salary, tips, etc. Now, here's my question. I get etc. See? So I get etc. as a gift. So how much etc. do I get? Would you like to guess? I'm a contractor. I do floors. And a lot of my floors are pretty expensive. So what do you think I make, etc., as a gift? What do you think I make in a year?
Probably a lot of etceteras.
No, I make 31.
31 etceteras?
There you go. Now, the problem I'm having is when I went to the tax thing, I go down, it gives me a graph. If you make however much you make, I haven't found 31 etceteras so I can pay my fair share. So I'm trying to pay. I want to pay. I beg them to let me pay. I went down to the IRS building every day for a month trying to get in to ask them how do I figure my 72 etceteras. I got 72 etceteras in 2018. I put it on my return, and there's no etc. Graph for me to tell what percentage of 31 I pay. So wait a minute. Doesn't that make sense?
Well, just give us a gift or a bequest, and we'll be happy.
No problem. I'll be glad to. I'm going to give you etc. And then I pulled my pants down and I shit on the floor and said, that's what I get out there. I get nothing but shit all day. See, don't ask me to define it. See what happens. Now, the next question I have, I think that was all of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's that paragraph 2, yes.
Okay, so for the purposes of federal income, I thought that was important. I'm trying to show you. I hear people say, well, it's not defined. It's defined right there. There it is. Unless we tell you otherwise. Wait a minute. That's Title 31. That's a statute. It's written by Congress. They haven't told me otherwise. It says gift or bequest. I have to take it as that because they haven't told me otherwise. Now, if they say on the 1040 form, income here, asterisk at the bottom of the page, it says everything other than gifts and bequests. Now I can do that too, but they don't do that. Doesn't that make sense?
It's starting to because, everything is accepted as a gift is the way I'm reading this. Because it says under paragraph 1, which I read over, and everything that he gets has got to be administered as a gift. And I've actually seen that when you...
But it doesn't say that. It says salary, tips, etc. It doesn't say salary, tips, etc. Gifts. Bequest doesn't say that. So if you get gifts and bequests, if there's no place to put it on the form. Now, if you don't mind, I want to show you one more thing. Are you the guy, you said you do file the 1040?
I haven't filed the 1040 since 03, actually, or 04.
I want you to, if you will, look up 1040 instructions and download it. When you do, I'm going to show you what you have to file. You have no options. It's absolute in black and white, and this is what I do. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just showing you what I do. Would you mind doing that? Downloading it. You don't have to keep it. Okay, when you get it, come back so we can go over it.
Right.
Does anybody? Thank you so very much. Does anybody else have a question?
If you have a question, you better hurry because we got about 5 minutes.
Okay. What we're doing is we're taking you to the tax court. The tax court is giving us a ruling that says and you heard the guy read it early on. It says, the commissioner says, we did not give you a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination. Therefore, because of 6212 and 6213A, that is Title 26. Look that up so you can read it and understand what they're saying. We do not, he's the commissioner, so the IRS does not have jurisdiction for years, whatever you put down. So, if they've taken your money, if they put you in jail, we can make them pay you because the judge gave a bad diagnosis. If you went to the eye doctor and he said, I got something in my eye, and he went down there and snipped your pinky toe off your left foot and snipped it off and says, how's your eye? That's incompetence. So if the judge put you in jail, if the judge took your money, if the IRS agent put a lien or a levy on you, that's incompetence. Why? Because they don't have jurisdiction. So we can now take the IRS to court. We can file a complaint with the bar. We can file a complaint in the court that the judge that sentenced me to 2 years, 10 years, 100 years didn't have jurisdiction. The reason the federal district court has no jurisdiction because the IRS doesn't have jurisdiction. How do I know it? Because I went to the tax court, and the tax court told me, the commissioner told me in the tax court they didn't. If they come back now and say we do have jurisdiction, then we can have the commissioner put in prison for perjury. Does that make any sense? Now, the guy that was looking that up, did you find it? Now,
1040?
Did you? Yeah, no, the 1040 instructions.
Right, on for 1040 instructions for 2019, I've got that up.
That's right. Go to page 109. I'm going to have you read one sentence, and that one sentence. Now, while you're going there, has anybody seen Title 26? It's 10,000 pages. It's about 8 inches thick. I'm going to show you how to memorize the entire booklet. When we read one sentence, you're going to be able to. I'm going to show you how to understand the Title 26. Okay. On there is what's at the heading of that page? Tell me what's at the heading
page
of that page.
This thing ends at page 108.
Go to 100 then. It's okay. 2018 went to 117. That's okay. Because of what we're doing here, they're changing it a little bit. They go to page 100. At the very top of page 100.
96, 97, 98.
Okay. On page 100, what does it say at the very top?
Disclosures, Privacy Act, and Paper Reduction Act notice?
Perfect.
All right,
There's 3 columns. Okay. There's 3 columns, a left, a middle, and a right. Okay, on the left-hand column, come down. It's all typewritten. You'll see a number, 6001. Do you see that? All right, now, while you read it, I'm going to stop you so we can answer some questions because we're going to show you now how to understand Title 26. The IRS does not want you to know this, but we're going to show it to you tonight, how to read Title 26 in its entirety in about 2 hours.
Our legal right to ask for
Stop right there. Hold on. You're going too fast. Our legal right. Who is our?
That is the IRS, the commissioner.
Exactly. Well, that's right. So read it that way. Instead of saying our, say IRS.
The IRS legal right to ask for information is Internal Revenue Code, which is 26 U.S.C., Section 6001, 6011, and 6012A. And that's it. And their regulations.
Stop right there, okay? So the IRS has a legal right to ask you 6001, 6011, 6012A and the regulations. So my question is, on the 1040, it says you have to file an income tax return because of 7701B1. Tell me what that I just did.
You just you're not within the legal rights of 6001.
Okay, so if I'm not in my legal, if I'm not in my legal right, what am I in?
You're out of your jurisdiction.
No, sir.
You're in alcohol, tobacco, and firearms?
No, sir. If it's not my legal right to ask, what is it? Okay. Here's my question. You owe $3,000 to the state government. You walked in as a drug dealer. You give him a brick of cocaine. You walk in the courthouse and give it to the sheriff to give to the judge. Tell me what's going to happen to you.
You're going to get arrested and thrown in jail for trafficking cocaine.
Okay, why? What's wrong with cocaine? It's what?
Because it's not a species of money.
No, sir.
Accepted.
Doesn't matter. Nope. That's not the reason you go to jail. Why do you go to jail?
Because they said it's a controlled substance.
No, sir. It's illegal. So if the IRS says our legal right to ask, if they're asking you anything outside of those 3 sections, it's illegal. So if the IRS says to you, according to 6327.4, have to file a tax return, that's illegal. That IRS agent is telling you cocaine, put it on line so-and-so. It's illegal. They only have a legal right in those 3 sections. Let me make a suggestion, not a legal advice. Go online and take 6001 and hit print. 6011, hit print. 6012, hit print. Then go to the CFR, Code of Federal Regulations. 6001, hit print. 6011 under the CFR and the same under the other. It's going to be 29 pages. Then print that page. You have the entire Title 26 at your disposal. Then, if you will, Go right ahead and do whatever you want, sir.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, do you know if they're in the parallel table of authorities, the regulations?
Absolutely, yes, they are. Yes,
they are. Okay.
If you will, now that I've shown you the entire Title 26 and their legal right to ask, if you will, would you go and put in Title 26, Section 6011, and read the heading? That's all I want you to do is just read the heading. Now, what we're trying to do here, if you go down and they say you got to come in and see us, take your little packet with you and go down there and print you 4 or 5 of them, hand them to everybody, and it's over. Because if they ask you any question outside of those 3 sections, it's illegal. We're going to put
6011.
What's the name? Tell me what the heading is on that.
26 U.S.C. Code 601, general requirement of a return statement or list.
Oh, ain't that something? Now, that's okay. Now, if you will, I'm jumping around here because I'm trying to get this finished. Go back to that, if you will, go back to the page 100 and finish reading that sentence. Okay, finish reading that sentence.
Our legal right to ask you for the information is Internal Revenue Code Section 6001, 6011, and 6012A, and their regulations. They say you must file a return or a statement with us first.
They. Who's they? Who's they?
They're saying that Congress, I believe in this case, those regulations.
They is 6001, 6011, 6012A.
Yeah. Okay. Congress wrote them, so I guess I was...
That's okay. That's right. So now finish that sentence, and then I'm going to ask you a quick question. Go ahead and finish that sentence.
They say that you must file a return or a statement with us.
Stop right there. Okay, hold on. So what must you, absolutely without a doubt, what must you file?
You must file a return. A return.
Nope.
Or statement.
Read it. Now you have it. So a return or statement, they're equal. That's what it says. So I do not file a 1040 because I file a statement. Every year I file a statement. I write on a sheet of paper. I write eat, shit, and die, and I put it in my file. I do exactly what it says. Now, if you will, go to Title 26, 6012. Read the heading on that, and this is going to give you all your answers right here. This is Title 26 in the nutshell.
Going to the next. Okay. Be right there. Bear with me on 2. That should pull right up. Yep, there it is. I don't know why the next button didn't work. All right, go ahead.
Okay, read 6012.
Persons required to make returns of income.
There you go. So what I would do, I would read that, and it only says 6012A. So what I would do is I would read 6012A and highlight everywhere it talks about you. I did that. On my booklet that I have, how much marker do I have on it, do you think?
Zero. Didn't quite
Zero. And the reason for it, because in 6012A, it tells you who has to file, and it's in black and white. It tells you what person has to, what person doesn't, who is required and who is not required. See, if you have those 3 sections, if you need them, Ed, I send them over to Ed. We have it over there. You can have him send it to you. And what I did is I printed all the odd pages. I turned it over and printed the evens on the other side. So it's 29 pages plus that 1 page. It's 30 pages. I went down and had it is really nice. I put a clear view on the front, put a spring binder, and I put a real nice hardback on it. And I went through and highlighted. Now I have what I need. When I go see the IRS, I take one of them and flop it down in front of them. Their legal right to ask me anything outside of those 3 sections, I'm immediately writing their name down, and I'm going to have them in the courthouse because what they're doing is illegal. If I can't sell cocaine because it's illegal, they can't ask me something outside of those 3 sections. That's the way I read it. I may be reading it wrong. Let me just make a quick statement. I am not giving legal advice. I'm trying to show you how do you work with the Antichrist. 6001, 6011, and 6012A and their regulations. Does that make any sense? Has that helped anybody?
Oh, yeah, because they go all over the place when they start saying that you're stealing ATF and, haven't filed a return and failure to file in the 7,000.
Sure. So what you have there is if you didn't file a return, send it down there and send that piece of paper right there. I have that section highlighted. I mail it to the IRS agent, and I say, I agree with you. I did not file a return, but I did file a statement. See that? He says, He cut back to me and says, well, if you filed a statement, where is it? I filed it. You didn't tell me to mail it to you. Nowhere in that booklet does it say to mail it. I did exactly what you said. If you want something else, tell me. He said, mail it to me. So I sent him a package of about 20 pages in a folder, and it says, eat, shit, and die. And I wrote on the top, 2,000. And I copied and put 2,000 in one. I went all the way up to whatever. I put it in a piece of paper, and I mailed to that SOB. And it says, he opens, I can only imagine. He opens it up and looks, it says, eat, shit, and die. Wow, that's cool. That's my statement. But that's what it says to do. So, the answer to your question, do I fill a 1040 out? No. The reason I don't, because the IRS said I don't have to. It says I could file a return. Doesn't mean a 1040, but it could. But it's not defined well enough. But it does say I have to file a return or statement. So I write it, eat shit and die, and I put it in my filing cabinet every year.
Yeah, even the term return doesn't mention a 1040 whatsoever, does it? Anywhere in here?
You're reading it. You tell me.
Yeah, I don't see a word 1040 in there anywhere.
Okay, there you go. See? They want you to assume. See what I'm saying?
Yep. That's what the whole thing is.
Okay, Kerry, we're going to have to call it.
Not a problem, Ed. I appreciate it. And I want to say this. Thank you for being here. If you need anything we talked about tonight, any forms or anything that you want or you think you need, if you email Ed doesn't have it, he'll email me and I'll send it to you. But quick thing before we go, If you get a hold of Ed and say, I want to speak to Kerry or I want to speak to Ed, please put your phone number down so we can call you. If you don't want us to have it, I don't care. I don't want it then. But if you want me to call you, I cannot call you. If you say, Ed, have Kerry call me, and there's no number there. I still get a few emails that says, would you call me? And I can't because I don't have any phone number. So email Ed if you need a form. Look at the email you got tonight, and it's probably already there. The glossy page is there, and some of the other stuff is there. So I want to say thank you for being here. I'm done, Mr. Ed.
All right, Kerry. Well, this is Dan in Virginia, and I thank you very much. And I wrote you an email yesterday, just kind of get a general idea what you think I ought to do next. I said what I wanted to do next, and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Okay, folks.
Mr. Kerry,
our next call is March the 10th.
Yeah, Ed. This is Ed out in California. Kerry, I was trying to get a hold of you several times, left you some messages, and on that book. I'm interested in getting your book. Now, I've got your email.
Not a problem.
I emailed it twice, and I don't have your...
I understand. Okay, my sister died, and I'm in Michigan, and we just got her buried, and we're going through some of her things that we have to get finished up. So I'm not around any of that, but I'll be home on Thursday late. So Friday, if I'll have it, I'll put it in the mail on Friday. If you don't mind, I think I had yours, but would you email me and just remind me, and I'll get it in the mail on Friday.
And my condolences to you. I'm very sorry to hear that.
I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate it. I've been here about 2 weeks because there was even when you die, the state's got a hook in you. And I mean, when you leave, they want your. It's unbelievable. And some states are worse than others. But anyways, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. But I'll be home on Friday. So if you'll email me, remind me, give me your address, I'll have it in the mail on Friday.
Okay. Thank you much. And like I said,
my pleasure. Thank you so much.